How do you know this works? And I said, well, because I've gone through it. It's such a gift to be able to give this work to other people, opening up the opportunity for them to say yes to them.
Welcome, Tracy, to Quantum Conversations. I'm so excited to share this chat with you. Here at Quantum Conversations, it's really about just having a casual conversation, talking all things quantum touch and how it weaves in and around our life. So I'm going to share your bio here. I love your background. So Tracy is a certified quantum touch practitioner, a Reiki Level 1 and 2 practitioner, and Ayurvedic Indian head massage therapist based in Vancouver, BC, on the traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples. With over 30 years of experience in energy and healing work, Tracy is the founder of Spiraling Oak Energy, a practice rooted in the belief that healing is brave and beautiful work, and that each of us has the innate ability to come back to ourselves. You have a beautiful healing story and you share about it on your website. So I'd love if you could just share with our audience, what is the story behind Spiraling Oak, and how did you get to where you are today?
Oh, yes, Spiraling Oak. You know, when you're crafting, what am I going to have as my statement piece with my website? And I really love nature. I love trees. I love what they do in order to survive. And it spoke so completely to me when I was developing my website, because we absolutely do the same thing when we navigate life. When trees need to spiral themselves to gain the nutrients that they need in order to continue, they find the resources where they can find them. And oftentimes they have to spiral to do that because they have to be creative. To really love how interesting nature is when it gets creative. And also what I love about the spiral is that most patterning in nature creates a spiral, whether it's the fern, the snail, whether it's, I could just keep finding instances where the spiral continues. And with quantum touch, we're dealing with vortexing energy, spiraling energy. And it was like an absolute beautiful fit for me. I just love it because there's a deep connection with nature.
Right.
And because energy's always in flow, it just, for me, was a no-brainer. It was like, this is me. This is
beautiful.
What I resonate with. Yeah.
So what first brought you to learning energy work?
Oh, energy work. When I was on my travels to Australia and New Zealand in my 20s, I had a lot of really interesting experiences that awakened me to more. I was on a trip. I'm traveling. I'm in my 20s. This was as far as I was thinking. And then as I traveled, I just had more and more very interesting experiences that I couldn't explain. It was a very clear indication of more. There was more to be seen. There was more for me to do. And it just awakened curiosity in me in a even much deeper level than before. I'd always been curious, but this was like whole new level curious. I was really interested in where it was going to take me, because I don't ever look at it as from a place of fear when interesting things happen. In my life, it's always been like, well, isn't that interesting? We're going in that direction. Oh, This is interesting. Oh, that's happening. Okay. Well, for me, it's more, let's stay in a vein of curiosity.
So did you have an experience of pain or crisis? Okay. I was just like, that's a really beautiful, because most of us, I feel like we wait till we're in a state of pain or crisis. And then at least for myself, I feel like that's where I was and I had no other options. And then I learned about energy healing and I was like, well, I got nothing else to lose. And I felt like I was in that spot. So, or did it come from this beautiful curiosity? Because I think that like, we don't have to wait till we're in this painful spot. We can simply just really, recognize that beauty and that curiosity in our life and kind of follow that and be motivated in that respect.
Yeah, for me, it was a bit of both. For me, it was ultimately I knew it was my pathway. Like my pathway was beginning in a certain direction. It's not something from my experience, it's not something I would have innately chosen sometimes the path that I went.
Mm.
It was chosen for me. It was, there was no like, am I going to be an energy practitioner? Because there was times in the journey where I thought, why am I doing this? Because in the beginning, it would create a lot of tears, a lot of release, a lot of this would happen. And I'm like, okay, well, here we are. And I would just keep going. And people would ask me, well, how do you know this work works? And I said, well, because I've gone through it. In order to be a practitioner, you have to do your own work. And I know it works because it's transforming me. It's created and tremendous shifts within myself. And I'm doing the big, brave, and beautiful work that it requires all of us.
Talk to me about your transition from film industry to working with Reiki.
Oh, for me, I still work in film.
Oh, cool.
So I wear both hats, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm the person at work that people know this is what I do also, right? So I just I wear very many hats in that regard. Really thought about this recently, as I've been doing energy work for so long that it isn't something sometimes even that I think about doing. It's just something that I am. This is something that is within my life from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. There is no separation from energy work for me. It's just something I literally innately do. So it became just part of me. It's not something I put aside. You know how some people might go, oh, I'm going to dabble into. For me, it isn't dabbling in. It's just what's my next evolution of.
Beautiful. So having the background of Reiki, what brought you to Quantum Touch?
My stepson brought the book home because he's an amazing healer as well. And he brought it home and I just went, yes. Like, you know, when there's sparks going almost like from the book to myself, I was like, yep. And I just dove in and said, this is my next step, because I was literally looking for something to expand with. And it was the most amazing right next step. It just evolved the practice the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you share stories of what that experience was like in the beginning of reading the book? Were you able to, I guess my question is, were you able to run the energy from reading the book? And what experiences did you have from that in the beginning?
Yeah, I was really able to tap into what he was talking about, because I was already running energy all the time. It just came from a different angle, like a different way. So with Reiki, I was always focusing from the field, right? Bringing the energy in and through me. And when he was talking about quantum touch coming from me, I was like, well, that's very cool, because I love working in the heart field. Heart work for me is a majority what I end up doing with most anybody I'm working with. It feels like that's what everyone is needing right now. Specifically, it's just expanding into that space all the time. I loved the way it was described about, you know, amplifying the field, vortexing the energy. For me, it was just a, yes, let's do that. That sounds like so much fun. Let's do that. Like, it's just so much incredible fun.
Yeah.
Why would I not want to do that?
And then you say through your work, you have this tagline of come back to yourself. So how does that weave in with Quantum Touch?
Coming back to yourself with Quantum Touch, when you first experience it, it's this feeling of newness, because you're literally having your body unwind and do what it needs to do in order to feel like it's in a centered space. I started to feel an elevated emotional state. I started to feel my body coming right with itself in ways that I hadn't quite been able to grasp in the past. And it was noticeable to me, especially, you know, for example, I would go to my job the next day after being in a group session, and I was noticing how much more shifted I was in my attitude, in my presence, in how I was operating with other people. And that spoke volumes to me. I could tell when I was not as engaged in the community, because there's a lovely community here in Vancouver. And when I was more engaged, like I was actually curious about it, because I was like, it's so effective when you stay committed to it. Right. So for me, it was an evolution to become so much more in charge of me. And I've found through Quantum Touch, it's given me a new language to use with clients and a new way to engage with them, so that they're like, I love doing in-person sessions. I do online as well, but in-person sessions, there's just this other level that you can really engage with people with. And getting their like just seeing the expression on their face when their body starts to unwind and respond in a way that they really weren't expecting. It's the most beautiful thing. And the deeper you work with people, how their body just starts to say yes on a deeper level.
It's beautiful the way, I mean, we talk about in Quantum Touch that we're working with the inner healer. And within us all is this intelligence that already knows how to heal. And when we allow our bodies to entrain to this life force energy, then we can just trust that our body's going to use that energy for its greatest and highest good. It's beautiful. I agree with you. It's seeing the look on their face, because it's like, it's a feeling I think we don't have a language for, or they recognize the feeling. And I think that's what you mean by coming back to yourself. Because it's like, I know this feeling, but I don't know how to explain it.
Yes, because, we move through life, we get busy. We're not necessarily always in touch with us, right? The noise becomes the everyday, it becomes the habit form that we train with. And when you are practicing Quantum Touch and you're receiving Quantum Touch, it's like, oh, my body can feel like this. Oh, my breath can feel like this. I've had also people talk to me about how much more connected to meditation they are, to the meditation within them. It was really interesting when I had that comment from somebody, because I was like, yeah, they've put into words oftentimes what I feel when I've been practiced on, right, by other Quantum Touch practitioners. And you just feel this, there's so much more quiet. That's what I love about it, is there's so much more quiet happening. How much quiet do we ever experience in most of the days when we're busy, right? When life gets busy. And experiencing quiet and inner quiet, when your brain's not chattering. The field comes in, right? And the chatter just stops, because you're in the field of experience, right? Like with Quantum Touch, that's what I find. It's just you're in the field.
And I was just, as you were saying that, I feel like that's like your spiraling oak, this ever expanding, because I noticed that in myself and I noticed it in my clients. It's like, I didn't know this level of peace existed. And then you're kind of like in that level of peace, right? And then it's like, you can experience more. And then, getting used to that. How does that feel?
Exactly. I know. I'm really glad that you get that, right? Like that feeling too, right? You never know what people are going to feel when, everybody has a different experience, but it seems to be that most everyone's like, this feeling of peace.
Well, and I think this is kind of the beauty, and I don't know if you experience this too, but being the practitioner, you get to be involved in all of the sessions, and then it kind of just keeps stepping up, and you experience more. And there's so much beauty in that.
Right? There is so much beauty in that. And you've probably had this comment from people too, where, how are you feeling after this treatment? Are you tired? I mean, I've had so many people over the time thinking, oh, you must be so tired. You've done, this session and you've done all these things. It's, and it's like, no, I'm feeling very jazzed up. While I was working on you, my body was aligning I had many adjustments for my own body because it's a win-win for me. It's like, oh, there goes my neck. It's aligned again, right? Like it just, but it happens all the time. My body's just going, it's just saying yes all the time. So it's such a gift to be able to give this work to other people by opening up the opportunity for them to say yes to them. And I hope everybody at some point in time will be able to experience quantum touch.
Well, and you say that healing is the path to self-empowerment.
Yes.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
For me, it's a dual thing. So self-empowerment comes from healing. Self-empowerment also comes from also doing the heavy lifting yourself, right? So for me, my daily practice in the morning is a non-negotiable. So every morning I wake up, first thing I do is I meditate and I run energy. That is the very first thing, because the more you're taking care of your mind as first thing you wake up, the better your day is going to be. So that is every single day. Most days I work out as well, first thing in the morning, and I focus on where my thoughts are going, because to me they go hand in hand, right? You take care of where your thoughts are and your energy will follow. It's the self-maintenance. It's the investment in yourself, because for me, the biggest investment we can make, the most important investment out of anything unequivocally, is being focused on yourself. On how are you thinking? How is your energy? How are you operating in your day? Because it will just shift things so exponentially. You will look back, because doing the practice, I look back and I go, oh, my life is exponentially shifted. I have exponentially shifted. I'm not the same person because I've been responsible to make sure that I'm doing my breath work and being in touch with the field in my body, and where's my mind going? Right? So for me, it's like working on your mind as well as the body. They go hand in hand. They're like, you can't have one without the other. And the more that people get in touch with energy work and understanding that it's a whole system, your mind, your spirit, and your body, they're all a connected piece all together. And I was thinking the other day about, it's really interesting, about how we don't think oftentimes just the fact that we are 100% organic matter. Right? I was thinking about this. I don't know why all of a sudden I was thinking about this where I hadn't thought about it in the same way before. And I was thinking, for a 100% organic matter, why is it that we insist on putting non-organic matter in our body by participating in things that might give us some satisfaction, and yet we wonder why later on it doesn't feel so good. Right? So when we provide to ourselves really high-end energy, amplifying the field, we're going to want to put really good quality things in our body too. Right? And it was like, of course, the better I put in my body, the better it's going to feel, because really this is the body that houses us and does all these beautiful things for us. And the more that we're honoring that, there's no disconnection then. There's no way to be disconnected from yourself when you realize just how much you're in charge of what you put in your body, what you allow saying yes to, right? And what practices you're doing. Like it's a great win-win.
Yeah. I see that as it's like I outgrow habits, or I outgrow things that I used to love because it no longer feels good.
Yes.
And it just becomes this natural process. And I find if I try and hold on to something that my body doesn't want, it breaks. Yeah. Like the thing will break.
Exactly.
Whatever it is. It's like, I feel like resistant. I don't know. It brings me comfort. I don't want to give it up. And then it breaks. And then I'm like, well, I guess it's no longer for me.
I know it's funny how that happens, where you're like, because I used to be a big sugar person. Like I would crave chocolate all the time. It was like, where's the chocolate? And and I don't even crave chocolate anymore, which is weird because I always thought forever I would crave chocolate. And because I personally haven't been eating a lot of sugar, in the last 6 months, specifically, I'm like, oh, well, I've had the same chocolate bar in my fridge for months, and I've only had two pieces.
Wow.
Whereas before it would be like the end of the week, well, I better go get another chocolate bar, right? And I'm not trying to say that chocolate's bad. I'm not trying to say that having, yummy things isn't good.
Yeah.
It's just realizing how much you're consuming so that your energetic body can recover, so that your energetic body can support you.
Well, I think you kind of touched on it there. It's that you no longer felt like you needed it.
Yeah.
Like the shift happened within. So it was no longer, I can't have it. It was, you didn't even realize that you were missing it. And I think that's the beauty of quantum touch and working with energy, is because these shifts are happening deep within our body, oftentimes beyond our awareness. And then it'll be time later, like weeks or months later, where you're like, oh, wait a minute, I don't do that thing anymore. Or I don't reach for alcohol anymore, or whatever it might be. It's like you just naturally outgrew it and you didn't even realize you were missing it.
Exactly. It's like building these different habits out of just natural flow, right? That really is what it is like you're going into more of a natural state with yourself. And like for me, working out every day was not a natural state for myself, but the better my body is feeling, the more I'm practicing my own protocols, the more I want to do the things that bring me joy, which is my body feels so amazing, right? And getting into a practice every morning of checking in with my field and getting connected from my feet all the way up, right? I love with Quantum Touch, the 8th to the 12th chakra, living beyond the 7, and being able to educate people that aren't aware that there's more than 7. The 8th chakra is so important, and people they're like, we have an 8th? What do you mean there's an 8th? And I'm like, yes, it's below your feet. It's in the ground. It's why the farther away from the earth you are for too long a duration of time can be a bit hard on the body.
Yeah. How do you like to use chakras 8 to 12 with clients?
I like to use it by getting them really aware at the beginning of the session.
So do you scan everyone's chakras at the beginning of a session?
I do.
Okay.
And I also will encourage them to be active in the process with me.
Okay.
Yes. So
please explain that.
Yeah. Well, what's really fun is just getting them to be with me and walk through the process together.
Okay.
And I say, we're going to start by getting connected with ourselves together, and by breathing into the 8th chakra, getting really connected to the ground, really connected to the feet. Because I find a lot of times when I'm working with clients, they don't breathe down to their feet. They don't connect in. Usually, many times it's like just below the waist, there's nothing. Like, a lot of people don't like being in their body. So the last thing they're going to want to do is breathe down into their feet. And oh my goodness, beyond their feet. So I get them really reflecting on the energy all the way into the 8th. And I get them to really focus on that energy moving in a spiral and connecting all the way from their root chakra, sacral chakra, power center, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and then beyond all the way into the infinite field, right? And I love when they go, oh, wow, I'm beyond. You mean it just doesn't just end right here. I'm like way beyond, and there's so much infinite potential. It gets them really thinking in that regard, but it also focuses them to get their energy flowing. And so I get them just connected with their breath and getting them to be an active participant in their own journey. Right? Yeah.
I love that, because then it gives them that experience. And I think this is what I love about Quantum Touch. And this is why I became an instructor, because this is something we're all capable of learning. And it's kind of like understanding how your body works, learning how to bring energy through your body. And it's such a life skill. So I love that you're working clients through that experience of really connecting their breath with their body, with their energy center, and feeling that, because I mean, that's such a beautiful life gift. I mean, it's a skill, like a life skill.
It truly is. Yeah. I really love being able to help them, to guide them into a place they may not have thought about before.
Right.
And I think they really appreciate it. I just love working with people. If I could just work with people all the time, because I work with a computer a lot, and that's fine. But working with people is the main thing, and just really giving them a gift. I mean, the goal is to give them a gift. At the end of the session, they've left with something they didn't have before. Not just that they've come for a session, not just that they've received energy, but that they have this gift that they can take with them and start using and share with other people, hopefully, because it's all about the sharing and the expansion and the growth and the awareness and getting them to really love energy in a way that they didn't think about before. Because I know the conversation around energy has definitely shifted over the last 10 years for sure. When I started in the 90s with Reiki, there was this movement, but it was kind of like this little section of people, in a sense, that were sort of engaging in it. And now the community is just growing. Everybody's just like, yeah, I get it. I get it. I totally get it. And the languaging that people are using is shifting. And I'm really excited that more and more people are learning about this, and that we get to share it with so many more people. Yeah.
How do you see energy work evolving?
I see it evolving to a place where everyone's aware that they have a chakra system. Everyone's aware that they have energy within them, and that they have the power within them. When they make that decision and that choice to empower themselves to live their life in a way that comes from literally from choice. Not that not that their body is doing these things, but I have a choice. I can be in the driver's seat. I can be the star of my own movie. I can be the one navigating my ship forward, because I have the tools to connect with my body and understand what it's telling me. Because oftentimes, I always say this to people, when your body is in pain, when your body is having this chronic thing that keeps creeping up, it's like it's yelling at you. It didn't begin as a yell. It became it was whispering in the beginning, and you were so busy doing the thing, and then your body went, well, you're not listening, so I'm going to yell a little louder. And so oftentimes it's just our body's way of telling us that we need to pay attention. So it's just that opportunity to just say, okay, wow, energy, very cool. Because I think it's people are becoming more commonplace with the fact that their energy body is the most important thing to be in connection with, because their energy body will affect their whole being. As long as you realize that your energy body is really, we're light beings. I don't think everyone that thinks of themselves as a light being, I like to think of myself as a light being, because energetically, energy is, it just is, right?
Well, and with the expansion of quantum physics and it becoming more popular and more mainstream, and understanding that we're all just these molecules of space that are together. And I've actually saw a lot of medical literature coming out on biofield therapy. And then when you read the description and they talk about they're using Reiki in these medical studies, and they're having incredible results. So I love seeing that go mainstream, the mind-body connection. And I experienced that so strongly. I used to work in ultrasound, and women would come in with pain or irregular periods or whatever their concern is. And I'm there with the ultrasound probe looking for the problem. And half the time I couldn't find a problem, but I could feel their pain. And this connection between, pain as our body's way of communicating what is going on in our body, in our energy. And what I love about quantum touch is we talk about breath, attention, and intention. So you talk a lot about attention, right? Becoming aware of your body and what's going on in your energy. So when you talk with clients, what's that connection with intention? How do you explain intention to them?
Intention, absolutely. When you're in the process of deciding to be in a state of inquiry, right? You're paying attention. You have to set intention of what it is you want to get from it. And when you're in a session, what is your intention when you're there? Is your intention that nothing happens? No, your intention. So when you set your attention on the fact that you're in the session, your intention is there to be an allowance, in a place of acceptance, in a place of I want, right? It's a desire space. So your intention is to heal. Your intention is to move beyond your current state into a healthy state, or a more relaxed state, or a more meditative state, a relaxed state. The intention is so incredibly important. So I say to my clients, the intention for this session, right? I always bring about, what is our intention for this session? What would you like to receive from this session? What do you intend this to bring you? Because if you don't have an idea of what you intend it to do, it's not going to necessarily bring you the same powerfulness that you're hoping, because you're not as engaged as you could be, right? Are you engaged in your process? Are you intending it? When bringing about the focus of what it is they're intending, it's like, oh, okay, well, what am I intending? Well, I do know I want to feel better. I want these aches and pains to go away. But the ultimate intention, what is that? Is that to become that same person you were 10 years ago, that same feeling? What are you working towards when you're doing sessions? Are you working towards the fact that you don't want to go to the chiropractor anymore? I know that was a side effect for me. I used to have to go to the chiropractor quite often in the long distant past. And every so often I go for a tune-up if I feel like I might need one. But I'm finding less and less. It's like, they're always like, we miss you. Where you haven't been back for a long while. And it's because I don't need it. Right? My intention has always been to be in alignment, and to be doing my practice. So it's hard to explain to people that the more that I do this work, the less that I need to go outside of myself. Right? Yeah. So I definitely enjoy bringing that forward to clients when they come in and to see me.
I can definitely relate to that. I was actually going through like old tax files from 10 years ago, prior Quantum Touch, and I was shocked how much money I was spending on appointments, supplements, stuff that was supposed to make me better. And it all shifted when I learned about Quantum Touch, when I learned quantum energy, when I learned about energy and really connected with my body in that way. So it's really interesting. Back to intention, I find this is common with clients that they hadn't really thought of their intention. They just want the pain to go away, or they just don't want to feel this anymore, or they want to release. And it's like, okay, awesome. You want to release the emotions. And then what? Oh, I guess I hadn't thought that far. I don't know what I want. And then it becomes this kind of allowing this vision to expand for them, like allow this desire to expand. Imagine 5 years from now, and you no longer have this pain, and you no longer have to spend all your time in these appointments. And what would you be doing? What would life look like? What are the details? And I invite them to expand on that and just let that grow. What comes up? What would bring a smile to your face?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's interesting how people don't even know what they want much of the time, because how much do people focus on what it is they really want?
Yeah.
If you ask a person, what do you want? Do you have a goal you're working towards?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. What do I want? And then it's like, Well, you have to want something. You have to desire something. What is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And oftentimes I find people habitually get in the habit of wanting for others, right? Not necessarily wanting for themselves. So in service to others. And in in a sense, sometimes people get in that way of serving, right? That's great, but not at the expense of serving yourself. Because if you don't put your, as they say, your life jacket on first,
Yeah.
right? So by getting involved in energy work, it is such a gentle way to really put your life jacket on and really put yourself first. And it's something that everyone can do for themselves,
Yeah.
knowing that we have so much power within us. And I find that incredibly beautiful. And the more and more people I can empower with it, it's exciting.
I mean, that brings us back to what we talk about in Quantum Touch with resonance and entrainment. I mean, we're radiant beings. We're always radiating our energy. And when we take that time to bring that life force energy into our own bodies that it's radiating out, it's going to help so many more people. So actually, you'll help more people by taking care of yourself.
Yes.
And then it's just like this natural side effect, if you will, that the others will feel that energy as well.
Yes, exactly. It's really interesting how you're also, when you do that, when you're around people, they'll just notice you also in a different way. People notice energy in a way that you don't even realize. Just like listen to what people say and it'd be really surprising. I think if people listened more and more to what people were saying around them, especially when they're looking, they start looking after themselves, and people might be saying, "Oh, I really like your energy. I really like you. You're really brightened, right, from before." I mean, people will say things, and it's always pay attention to what they're saying, because it is a net evidence for people. It's that beautiful evidence of having done the work for yourself, because people appreciate it, because they love seeing the people that they care about doing well, right? And then it's funny because most of the people that are in the community here, that I connect with, they're just like, because we do meditation together as well. And, oh, I brought my friend, or I told my friend, and then this is my friend's friend, and then my friend told this person, and then everybody's super excited to be there because there's this beautiful flowering that happens for everyone. And it's all stemming from the growth of healing and energy and connection and peace and meditation. It's like they're all hand in hand. Yeah.
I like to think of Quantum Touch as like meditation on steroids.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's the focused breath with intention, right? And we're always becoming aware of what's coming up and then shifting that energy, holding that intention. And it's kind of like, I almost see it like switches in my mind of like a thought comes up of a belief or something. And then I'm like, do I want to believe that? No. Flip the switch. Like, this is going to be my intention. This is what I believe now. Right. And then can shift that energy. But the more I become aware of what pains me or bothers me, and then, right, there's that attention, right? I'm becoming aware. I don't like this anymore. This no longer works for me. And then I can flip that switch, right? And then hold that intention of what I do want. And then it just becomes almost like this fun experience of, if I become aware of something, I'm like, oh, I don't like the way that feels anymore. Well, what would I want to feel, or what would I prefer? And then I can shift and hold that new intention.
Exactly. I love when the body is also, when it's unfolding in the process, and the surprise on people's faces too, when, they came for the session. For example, I had a client who came to the session for different things. Oh, I'm experiencing tension in my neck, or these other areas. And then it was like, when all of this happened, I had, congestion in my sinuses. I didn't even talk about that, and yet it's gone. It's just gone. And you're like, well, you're welcome, because it was what was part of the whole thing as well. It's just part of the whole thing. It's just the thing you weren't necessarily even paying attention to anymore, because these other things were at the forefront, we'll say.
Yeah.
But hey, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You know, because your body was ready. Your body was ready to say, that doesn't work with me anymore.
Yeah.
People can just start finding new pathways.
Mm-hmm.
Like you and I have found new pathways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not the same people.
No.
Or none. Everybody I know that's found quantum, we're just, none of us are the same. And it's beautiful.
But I think this comes back to what you say about coming back to yourself. Mm-hmm. Because I do feel more myself now.
Yes, me too. Yes.
Like I feel like who I was before energy work was just trying to be what people expect me to be. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't serving me. Also, like what you talk about with spirals, I love those themes, because something will happen. Like a great example, a couple of weeks ago, my phone got waterlogged. And in this process of trying to dry out my phone and see if we could save it, I had no technology, no communication for 3 days. Mm-hmm. And the amount of peace I felt in those 3 days, I didn't know was possible. And then I ended up reactivating my old phone. But anyways, now I have my phone back, and it's like I could feel that like contraction. And then I'm like, no, I want to feel that level of peace now, because I got a taste of it and I know what that feels like, and I want more of that in my life. So how can I create that in my life? So these situations happen for our greatest good, to give us this taste of what is possible. And then how can we create and bring more of that in?
Yeah, it's always an invitation to the more, mm-hmm. right? In every situation that I encounter, no matter what I'm doing, my whole purpose that ultimately I'm here to do is to help people understand that they're the more. Mm-hmm. There's more to them. Mm-hmm. There's always more. Mm-hmm. You're not just this body. You're not just, this individual. Mm-hmm. There's more to you. You have so much more to offer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's just so much more. Mm-hmm. And there is no limit to what the potential of quantum touch can provide. No limit to what we are capable of. Mm-hmm. So opening up to the possibility is the most amazing.
And I think that goes in line with working with those higher chakras, right? When we can work with the chakras of possibility, and then you can tap into that. And I think Quantum Touch does a really beautiful job of guiding you to understand how you can tap into that energy, because it's universal and it's accessible and it's always there. And I think Quantum Touch does a really good job of teaching people how to connect with that.
Exactly. And, finding be more connection with your own personal gifts too.
Yeah.
Right. And because the more silence we can bring, the more our body is just going to respond to us in ways that it wants to, because we're listening. Mm-hmm. Right. It's like, are you listening? Are you listening? Your body really wants to talk. And it's interesting when working with people, because I get in somebody's auric field and I'm like, oh, that's what the body's saying. I can just see it. Mm-hmm. It's like the body, oh, okay, this is what your body's telling me. Mm-hmm. And then, what's really interesting is half the time I'm like, the body's telling me something about a certain part of their body. They haven't told me, have you ever had an accident? Did you ever get hit in the head? Like certain things will come up and they're like, yes, oh, what, really? And it's like, well, the body's telling me. So we're going to work on that, right? Because the body wants somebody to listen. If the person is not able to listen at the level that the practitioner is, beautiful. At least the practitioner is able to then tap in, and the person goes, oh my goodness, yes, I did. Is that just still showing up? And it's like, yes, the body said it is. And we're going to let that go today, and move beyond, right? So isn't that interesting? I find the body so interesting. It's like,
it is.
Oh, it's telling me this now. Oh, it's moving here. Okay. if there's discomfort in, say it's in their right hip, let me know if it moves. Has it moved somewhere else? Do you have if you have a headache? Oh, you have a headache. Okay, well, tell me where it moves. Where's your headache moving to? And then they do the thing and they're like, oh, okay, everything's moving around. And then at the end, how's your head? Well, I don't have a headache anymore. Like, I just find those journeys that we have with clients really, really phenomenal, because in the past it's like, oh, I have a headache, I just have to take a thing for it. And then I'll just say, but I can help you with that. I said, you probably just have a squished melon. I was going to humor, because they're like, what do you mean squished melon? And I said, well, your cranium is probably just a bit squished, and we're just going to fix it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so, but for me, I always level in with humor. That's just me, right?
Yeah.
It also helps people feel more relaxed, I find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes healing can feel so serious,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it doesn't have to be, because Richard Gordon says, celebrate the pain. And I love that, because it challenges what you think about pain. Pain's no longer something that we need to fear or deny or suppress or push away. But no, we're going to celebrate it, because it's the moment we chose to communicate with our body, right? To become aware, to listen. And the moment we listen, the energy shifts. And it really, like you had said, the body wants to be heard.
Yes, it really does. It's interesting, because I was with a group, we were talking about, the phrase, when you're chasing pain, right? We're going to chase it around. And then we were like, well, how about we just shift it and we just say, we're going to chase the bliss. And I was like, well, I love that. Let's chase the bliss, right? So it's flipping it on its head too, because it's like, yes, we're all aware that we're working the kinks out. We're getting the discomfort gone. But if we think of it not so much as discomfort and pain, and we think, where's your bliss going?
Yeah.
Right? Can we chase that bliss?
Yeah.
They get their focus going into the bliss. How can this feel blissful? Where are we going? We're going to the bliss. We're going to that place where your body's in a resonant field, where you're completely in connection, and it's just enjoy. Like, imagine and picture yourself in this state of resonance where your body's just enjoy. And it's got this big, beautiful smile, right?
Yeah.
Right. And it's the more we picture ourselves, in that state, it's just powerful. And I love Quantum Touch for that so much, because you're thinking about what you love most. Right? When you're in training with somebody, it's like you're not thinking about anything other than expansion of love. What do I love most? You're bringing that into the field, and it's amazing. Right? Because the heart chakra is one of the most phenomenal fields. Like, there's so much potential, and it's really interesting to me how much it's showing up for so many people currently, how a lot of people's hearts are really asking to not be forgotten in sessions. Pretty much every single person. I don't know. It's just,
I feel that too. Recently, it's been straight to the heart, and someone will tell me what their concern is, whether it's in the pelvis or in their head. And I always feel drawn to start at the heart. I have noticed that.
Right? It's a recent.
Because then I often find I'll have one hand on their heart, and then my other hand will be moving throughout their body. But it's as if one is always grounded on that heart, bringing in that heart energy and helping them connect with their own heart energy.
It's really interesting, because my practice has changed over the years as to what people are coming forward with. Like, I just noticed that it's really interesting as the trend of what's happening with people. And working with the heart is like, it's like the opener for so many things. And I had my client I was working with a client in Denmark. I wasn't in Denmark, online. They were in Denmark. They were saying, it was really interesting. My heart was feeling really, like, almost, when things are moving, felt a little uncomfortable. I wasn't sure where. And then it was like, well, I just breathed with it. And it just feels so much better now. But it was like something needed to release and unwind and let go, because the field, right? It's like when you're in a more elevated field, a lot of times we want our body to be taken care of. And the heart is a part of the body, but we kind of just forget about the heart in a sense sometimes, right? When we're going on our healing journey with our neck being sore, or our head is hurting, or our hips are hurting. But it's like, what about your heart? Right? And when we're able to get that heart really nurtured, I think that's why a lot of people are finding that right now, is that there's so much call for that, for people to be more in charge with themselves in their heart space. Right? The more we can be in the heart, I think humanity really needs that. You know, we all need each other, but also we all, you know, humanity itself is really calling for more heart. No accident that it's happening, right? Yeah.
Yes. Well, this has been such an incredible chat, Tracy. I am so honored to have this time with you and to be able to share beautiful messages with our greater community. So I'd love to know, if people want to reach out to you, how can they find you?
They can find me on my website at www.spiralingoakenergy.ca. Easily find me there. And I'm on Instagram as well, under the same handle.
Okay.
So yeah.
Beautiful.
More than happy.
Awesome. And I'll have all of that in the description below. So
excellent.
Thank you so much.